In this bite-sized video, I'm going to show you how to install Node-RED on the Intel Edison. To start with, ensure you have an up-to-date Edison image installed. This comes with Node.js pre-installed, and at time of making this video, we have version 4.4.3 of Node.js and version 2.15.1 of NPM. The Edison also needs to be connected to the internet. So update the system before we start installing using the opkg update and then upgrade commands. Before installing Node-RED, it's worth looking at how the default images uses disk space on the Edison board. Entering command df-k, and you can see that most of the free space is in the home directory. The root file system doesn't have a lot of space left. On the Node-RED site, you'll see the default instructions for installing Node-RED is to use the -G option. But this will install Node-RED in the root partition. So on the Edison board, we actually don't want to do that. Instead, I'm going to do a local install to my home directory. I'm going to use the unsafe-perm parameter, as this stops any warnings that you're installing as root. So if there is an issue with the install, there won't be a lot of clutter in the log about installing as root. So in the root user home directory, enter the command npm install --unsafe-perm node-red. One of the issues with doing a local install rather than a global install is that the commands don't get added to the path automatically. So if I type Node-RED, I get command not found. To fix this, I need to add links into the user bin directory for the Node-RED command and the Node-RED py command, and I use the ln-s command to do this. To start Node-RED on the Edison board, I want to tell Node Runtime that this is a limited resources board, so I use a parameter in the command to tell it to use memory more efficiently, which is --max old space size. So issuing the command Node-RED py --max old space size equals 128, Node-RED will start Node-RED. And the console shows that Node-RED has started and is listening on port 1880. So I can open up a browser to the URL of my Edison on port 1880, and I'll see Node-RED running. But there are no nodes installed in the palette to access the IoT features of the Edison board. So we're now going to install some additional nodes. Exit Node-RED by holding the Control key and then pressing C, and then change into the .node-red directory in the home directory for the user root. Entering commands npm install node-red contrib upm, and then npm install node-red contrib ibm-watson iot. And now if I start Node-RED again, I get to see the additional nodes in the palette for using the Grove sensors and also sending and receive data using the IBM Internet of Things platform. So the last thing I'm going to do is show you how to automatically start Node-RED when the Edison boots. To do this, I create a service definition in lib systemd system, and I call the file node-red.service, and then using the preferred editor, add the content that's shown on the screen. You can also find this content on the Node-RED site under the install instructions for a BeagleBone Black, but note there is an additional node option parameter to set the user home directory. I can then load the service using the command system control daemon-reload, and then start the service using commands system control enable node-red.service, and then system control start node-red.service. Node-RED will now run whenever the Edison boots. If I want to see the Node-RED logs, I now use the command journal control -f -u node-red and -o cat. And that's Node-RED set up on the Intel Edison board.